Hello, good morning. I believe we are live now. So this morning, now we were supposed to be live 10:30, so we're around about 30 minutes after time. I apologize about that. How are you this morning? Let me just see who is live with us now. Let's see who is live with us. 1 second. Okay. So sorry about that. This is a microphone that I was trying to fix earlier on. So that's the reason why it took a while for us to, for me to start this morning. So good morning, everybody. How are you? I'll just like to welcome all of you to this blab. How was your night? If you're just waking up, this is morning in the UK. Those of you joining us from other parts of the world, can you just let us know where you're joining us from so we can welcome you? Thank you so much for, making it this morning. Now, today, as you can see from the topic, of the blab, we'll be talking about what to expect in our 2016 blab broadcast. Now, I assume you all know me, but maybe not. So I'll just reintroduce myself. My name is Adebisi Asandika, and I'm the director of Joy and Joe. Hopefully today we'll be joined by the administrative officer, Joy and Joe. So you get to see her today. So I think she's nearly live now. Very soon she will join us. Yeah, I can see her actually already here, and hopefully soon you'll see her on the screen as well. So from the headline, it's what to expect in our 2016 blab broadcast. Now, I decided to do this blab quickly just to kind of tell you what to expect and kind of, let you know the topics that we'll be talking about in our blabs, because obviously we've done about 2 blabs, and we moved from Periscope. And from our previous blab, you remember that the reason why we moved to Blab from Periscope is because Blab has the functionality of being, you can actually record your blab and post, and then people who can actually make it can join in later on. So that's something very attractive about Blab. I love the fact that it's not going to expire. The videos will not expire in 24 hours, and that's a limitation for Periscope. Aside the fact that Periscope is a mobile app, so if there's a bit of a fault to your mobile phone, then that's going to be an issue. So for me, these are the things that make Blab a lot more attractive to us than Periscope. And the advantage of Blab again is that it's very interactive. People can, the hostess, the talk will not be the only one talking. At some point in time, you can join in and also contribute. So that's something that I think makes Blab a lot more better than Periscope. Obviously, every person has their own, preferences. Now, tell me along the line if you can hear me, because obviously I am testing my new microphone. Some of you gave us a really good tip the last time we came on. It was like, get a microphone or a headphone or something. My husband said this was going to be better. Now I've been fiddling with it and trying. Can you see this little device? Trying to make this work sense. I can't say if it's working, and hubby is not around. So you just tell me if the microphone works. So now, before going into the topics that we'll be discussing in our 2016 blab. I'll just give you a little recap of our previous blab and what we talked about. Now, our previous blab, we interviewed a really lovely lady, Anne, who shared a baby wearing story with us, and there was a very wonderful twist along the line. We had some notable baby wearers join us. We had baby wearing dad, Lee. He joined us, and that was really nice. We had some lovely advice from him to baby wearing dads. We also had a lovely lady who is apparently like a blab expert. She joined us from Australia, I think. Yeah, Australia. And it was nice because she also happened to be a baby wearer as well, who carried her children in the past. So we're supposed to have a couple more blabs, 3 more blabs after that. Somehow those days were quite inconvenient. They just didn't work. I don't know if I've mentioned that we have moved, so we're no longer in Bolton and moved to another city in the north. So this was part of the reasons why we just couldn't make that particular blab. Somehow it just didn't work. So I really apologize about that. I know a couple of people were actually online waiting for us that day, but sorry, didn't work. Hopefully for our 2016 blab, rather than give a fixed time and say 10:30 we're going to do this, we're going to make it very more like a range. So we can say we'll be online, we'll be on blab from maybe 11 till 12, so that if you can join us in between that time, then there's a good allowance for you to do so. But I've always said that you don't have to worry if you can actually join us live, because this is going to be on YouTube eventually for people who are not. Majority of our fans are actually for those in different time zones, they're not even in daytime right now, and some are at work, and those who are in the UK at work. So we love the fact that you can always catch up later. So I've told you what we did in our previous blab. We did interview. You can still find that on YouTube. And I'll also tell you about some of the things that, for those who are not really familiar with Joy and Joe, obviously you can Google us, Joy and Joe Baby Slings, and find out more about us. But this 2015 was a really wonderful year for us. A quick summary of things we achieved this year. I think first in my mind is the fact that many of our lovely customers put to bed this year. So we had lots of new babies this year. Sorry, I've just tried to invite Becca to join.
Oh, it's really bad.
Becca, can you adjust your...
I'm trying.
Your screen so we can see you very well?
Oh, we're getting it.
Oh, hello.
Yay!
Hi, Becca. Finally. At long last.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm really happy to have you here. So can you just introduce yourself for those who don't know you?
Of course, I can't just readjust that now. My name's Becca. I help Busy. I help Busy do all the bits and pieces on Facebook. So if you're talking on Facebook, it's probably me you're speaking to. I'm the one that'll talk to you about wraps forever and ever. So yeah, I'm a bit of a geek about wraps, a bit geeky about wraps. So yeah, if you've got any questions about wraps, I'm your girl. So yeah, I've been listening away while I've been trying to get my camera to work. So I'm really sorry. I'm not very good at technology, but we're getting.
Becca, now, can you tell me? Thank you for introducing yourself. Now, can you tell me, what do you think the sound quality is like? Is it good? Is it clear?
I think it's better than it was before. I think the microphone definitely makes a difference. I think it definitely helps. Yeah, I've been able to hear you all the way through. Even when you couldn't see me, I can still hear you, and the quality's a lot better than it was before. So definitely.
That's great. Thank you. So, Becca, it's great that you've joined us all the way from your holiday destination. How has it been?
So it
over
was
there.
a long journey. Everybody slept in the car apart from me and Neil because he was driving. So nobody wanted to sleep last night. So we were all up till really late because the kids were awake. So yeah, so it's fun. It's not because you're boring.
So it's great. So thank you so much that despite like on holiday, you're able to join us. I'll try to make the blab, we'll try to run along quickly so that we can release you to go and enjoy your lovely family holiday. So Becca, you can see obviously from the title, from the headline, that we'll be talking about what to expect in our 2016 blab, just to kind of let people know some of the topics that we'll be talking about in 2016, next year. So I was just doing a recap about this year as well for Joy and Joe, how this year has been, and then I'll also talk about briefly some of the things we hope to do or achieve in 2016. Then I'll go into the topics. Then many of our fans, obviously getting very excited about seeing you. So if there's anything you'd like to chip in about some of these things, let us know. Also, let me know rather. Also, we need to also decide whether we need to do the blab every fortnight or maybe once a month. So maybe if we can get more people to join us online. I appreciate that there wasn't enough notice for this particular one. It's really supposed to be something that we'll just record and put on YouTube later. So people are still going to watch this. So bear that in mind, that people are still going to be able to watch these on YouTube. So if there's anything you want to chip in and all that, feel free. So in 2015, this year, we won this wonderful award. Those of you who saw the award pictures can remember the lovely Becca in the Fountain of Love rap, and it was fantastic. I'm trying to relive that experience. One of the best things to happen to us. As a brand, we've won several awards in the past, but that was the first. That was like the biggest. The award we won this year was the biggest award, and that's it. And that's a testament to the fact that, whatever you believe in, just really hanging there, and the best will come. And those of you who know us know that we've been into, Joy and Joe Baby Slaves for a couple of years. And we are, as a brand, we are really, really growing. And this year has been a really good year for us. We also introduced the new weave this year as well. You can see Becca has been waving her Trilusion. Can you show us? Oh, good.
This is the red currant. So this is red currant and latte white. So that's the red side, which is lovely. But this is the latte white side, which is equally lovely. So there is no wrong side really, but which is really good with a wrap.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
I'm showing the snowflakes. This is a snowflakes. It's the baby blue version to the Trilusion. So this is our new weave, part of our new weave. There are a few more designs in this new weave, and 2015 marked the beginning or the birth of our new weave. We mentioned previously on our blog that the reason why we decided to bring this out, obviously as a brand, we're constantly listening to our customers. We're constantly wanting to improve our weave. And we noticed that customers are spending hours and hours trying to break their wraps in. And we really wanted you to have a wrap that you can use from the first day you receive it. These actually led us to...
These are fab. You get it out of the bag, and this is how soft it is. It hasn't been washed. It's just been used loads of times and sat on, and it is so soft. It is the softest wrap I've ever had my hands on, really. And I used to be one of those girls that was, I'll buy a wrap and I'll break it in and I'll love it. Now, I'm not for that. I'd rather buy a wrap like this that's already done, and then I can just wear it and say to my friends, look how soft it is. Look how lovely it is against the skin. And they're all like, oh, it's amazing. It absolutely blew my mind when I felt it. You think, cotton, it's just going to be cotton, but it's just so much more. And I'm just absolutely blown away by it. That's why I love it. That's why I take it to bed and sleep with it.
Thank you so much for the feedback. The great thing about Becca is, aside the fact that obviously, Becca now works for Joy and Joy, she is a baby wearing mom, a very expensive baby wearing mom. So she knows quality when she sees one. She's always been wearing her babies, even prior to joining Joy and Joy. So the feedback has been fantastic. We wanted customers to enjoy their wrap more from the point of view of the customer. We wanted you to enjoy something that you have invested into. Because obviously, if you buy a product from us, you're also invested into it. We want you to invest into comfort. So this year has been a fantastic year launching our new weave, and we've really, really enjoyed listening to your feedback. Now some of the feedback that we've all obviously listened to is pricing, and we had to explain to you the reason for the pricing is the fact that we had to, knowing the quality that we were looking for, we had to hire a textile expert. So these textile experts worked on our existing weave and told us that this and this and these are the things that we have to work on. A loom dedicated to weaving our wraps had to be altered. Now the picks have to be altered. These are the reasons why it is very, very rare to find a wrap that feels as drippy, the handle, the drape, and how it feels. You would almost feel that this has been worn for a long time. It is the way the loom has been adjusted. So these are the reasons. These obviously justifies the price, and the fact that a lot of research, a lot of work, a lot of resources have been put into actually bringing out these weave. And however, we don't want anyone to be sidelined at all, and we don't want any of our past customers to feel like, oh, we can afford these. So part of the things we want to do in 2016, so I'm going into the plans for 2016, is that we're going to have a new budget line. So you can hear that first here. This is going to be a proper super budget range. Now, some of the reasons why we wanted to do that is because we worked with some students from Manchester Business School, and these are students that are studying business administration. And part of their recommendations was that it would be nice for you to have a much more cheaper range that people who are completely new to baby wearing can actually, something a lot more accessible. So what we've now decided is that new range, obviously, the texture of the weave is going to be different to this. It's not going to be as completely drippy. The handle is not going to be as soft as these, but it is going to be wonderful, we tell you. So that is the new weave that we're working on, and that's for 2016. And that is something that we believe is going to be really, really awesome. And believe me,
I'm so looking forward to the new range. I think the new range is just going to make it more accessible, make Joy and Joe more accessible to so many more people, and taking it to see new baby wearers and saying to them, look how nice it is, look how good it is. It's got this benefit, it's got this benefit. And it's easy to look after, it's easy to handle, and it's within your budget. So we've got something for absolutely everybody that's within the baby wear community, and that's what we want.
Yes.
We want everybody to have one.
Yes, that's great. So part of our hope is that this will make even baby wear a lot more mainstream, because if you have a product that is very, very accessible to people of any, to accessible to everyone and anyone, these are the things that we're hoping that we'll be able to achieve and we're going to keep the designs very, very simple. So in 2016 now, weaving takes a while, so we will not tell you. And obviously, we want to keep some of the surprises to ourselves. So we won't tell you exactly when it's going to be launched, but we can tell you that something amazing is going to happen. So we'll be already telling you that it's completely going to be different. It's not going to be as soft. We have to be honest about that, as the FOLs and the narrows and this, but you're going to enjoy it. After possibly a wash or two, I would say, now, can I just, for those who already know some of our wraps, in order for you to kind of imagine what it's going to be like, it's going to be a satin weave. So if you can remember our noir, Orantiacos and all. So those are weaves that are even already widely accepted. So
Yeah.
you can see that these are weaves that are even already widely accepted. So if I say not to stop, it is because this is really, really soft. But it's just for you to imagine what it's going to be like. Think about our S&P Noir, S&P Orantiaco, Margarite. That's the way our new range is going to be like.
Yeah. And just because they're solid as well, sorry, Busy, just because they're solid and they're not going to be as soft as the Fountains of Love and the Trilusions and things, doesn't mean they're going to be bad wraps. They're going to be solid. They're going to be good for babies. They're going to be good for toddlers. They're just going to require a bit of using and a bit of breaking in, which is actually part of the fun of baby wearing. It's buying the wrap and going on that journey with it and softening it up and saying, look how much hard work I put into this wrap. It started off like this and now feel how nice it is. And that's one of the things. Don't be frightened because it's new, because it's not the same. It will still be lovely. That's what we're designing.
Yeah, of course. Don't think, oh, this is gonna be like a serious monster that's gonna be too hard to break it. No, our S&P Noir and some of the other wraps in that weave are completely soft. But obviously this is in a different league of its own. But some of the things that we've done to these ones is we've given them extra steaming, and we found that the extra steaming costs a lot of money, thousands of pounds, to give this extra steaming. So those are the things that the new weave, the new budget range will not have. No fancy steaming, no extra steaming. So you'll find that those are the things that are actually going to help us bring the price down. Packaging is going to be simpler and everything, so that we'll be able to bring the price down for you. So let's not go too much into that. Today we're going to tell you what to expect from our blab broadcast. If you want to ask us any questions, if you're here, feel free to join us. We understand that we are doing this because we want to record it and put it on YouTube. So we understand that many of you are not live. But feel free, for those of you who are watching these on recap, if you want to ask a question, we are very accessible. You can send us a message on Facebook.
Yeah, messages.
Yes, Becca is usually there to answer your questions.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Becca is always...
Sorry,
don't Becca is there to answer your questions. I'm also there as well. You can email us as well. An info@joinjoebaby.co.uk, and that comes to me. You can also even go to the chatter page as well to ask questions. It's a lovely, wonderful community.
Even if you just want to talk about stuff, the chat page is great. There's loads of different people that own different wraps, which have got different weaves and different materials. So if you're curious about anything, they're the people to ask. They're the people that use them day in and day out, and they'll tell you what they're like and how they work and how to look after them and what they've done with them. And they're a lovely bunch of people. So yeah.
Thank you. So thank you so much, Becca. So we'll just run through this. I know you will not be able to see the list. I've just jotted down some of the list, but I know you already know some of the things you want to talk about. So we'll be talking about technicalities of weaving. So in that particular blab, we'll be talking about technicalities of weaving. We're going to break it down for you to kind of understand what happens behind the scene in our weaving houses, how your wraps are woven, from the selection of yarns and how we even select the yarns, the things that happen in the weaving houses, how the fabrics are woven. We'll talk about the warping, then we'll talk about the weft as well, how the weft is selected and things like that, the design phase. We'll talk about, so in that particular blab where we'll be talking about technicalities of weaving, it's going to be a very interesting blab, I tell you, where those of you will love to geek about, textile structure, you can come in and ask me technical questions, and if we can have one of our weavers there with us that day, that would be great. A lot of the time they're usually in the weaving house, very busy. The weaving house is a very noisy place due to the machines and all, so the blab can definitely not take place in the weaving house. By the way, I've had to do someone has asked us, why do you do your blab in the morning during this particular time. It's mainly because if we blab in the evenings, you would likely see my children, Joseph and Joy, hopping around, the background. Or you'll hear Joseph singing head, shoulders, knees, and toes, and Joy clapping and singing along. So we've chosen this time because we feel that it's nice and quiet at this time. But obviously, we're very, very open to suggestions as to what you think is the best time. We try to be flexible to listen to accommodate some of these, suggestions. So I talked about technicalities of weaving. So we will give you some notice before this particular blab comes on. So if you have specific questions about technicalities of our weaving that you want to ask, you can then ask us prior to that blab, and we can then answer your question in that particular blab. So we would also talk about importance of baby wearing. Now, this is a very interesting topic. We know many experienced baby wearers already know, but we're hoping to spread the news about baby wearing to blab. So people who are don't worry, Becca.
What's here? What's as well? Everybody out. Sorry.
No, don't worry. We understand you're on holiday. Hi, little one. We understand you're on holiday. We know.
Go on upstairs. All right, well, come and sit down. Just come and say hello to Busy and everybody. Come on, come and say hello to Busy and everybody. This is my eldest. Say hi. Say hi, everybody. Hi, everybody all over the world.
Oh.
You don't want to go upstairs? Are we sitting and listening to Busy then, are we? Yeah. Come on then, we'll talk to Busy.
So importance of baby wearing. So when we're talking about importance of baby wearing as well, you can also send in your questions. So that particular blab will be useful. I love her smile.
It's lovely.
She looks really happy. So those of you who are completely people will say to me, "Oh, what's that term, baby wearing?" Some people even argue that term should even be toddler wearing. So that baby wearing is quite restrictive according to what some people think in terms of the term. So these are the things we'll be chatting about on that day. What baby wearing is as a term, the practice, importance of baby wearing. That particular blab is going to be great for those of you who are curious about baby wearing. So please look out for that. We'll also, in another blab, so another topic, very interesting topic we'll be talking about is the variety of baby carriers on the market, like the different types of baby carriers. We'll hopefully have samples here as well that we can show you. So for those of you who will be wondering, what carrier should I choose? We will explore the pros and cons of different carriers. From the ring slings to the wraps, for the wraps, different sizes, to also the knee ties as well, and the SCCs. And some of the carriers that we'll be talking about are not carriers that we do. So we will show you photos of those, and we will also show you live samples of some of the carriers that we do as well. So that's going to be a very interesting blab about the different types of carriers. What do you think about the topics that we'll be talking about in 2016 so far, Becca?
I think they're going to be really good. I think they're going to be really interesting. I can't wait for the weaving one. It's always been something. Well, it's only something I've really been interested in since I started working for Joy and Jaw, because I'm really keen to see how they're made and what the process is and what goes into it. I know there's a lot of work goes into it, but you never really quite understand how much until you see it going and you see it doing. So I'm quite interested in that to see how that goes. But I think all of it sounds really good. It's going to be really exciting, really interesting, really informative, which is it's really good. And I love talking about all sorts of stuff about baby wearing and things like that. Right, put those keys down.
That is great. That is really great. I'm really, really happy that you're excited about that. I'm also very excited about that as well. And some of the other topics that we'll be talking about as well is how baby wearing can facilitate kangaroo care. This is a very, very nice and interesting topic as well. Very useful for new parents, new moms. I mean, moms who've just had a baby, whether your baby is whether your baby was born premature or term. Nowadays, kangaroo care is not just for preterm babies. And in this particular blab broadcast, we'll be exploring how baby wearing, some of the baby slings, how they can be used to practice kangaroo care. So for those who don't know, obviously kangaroo care is this practice where you have your baby on your chest. It's more of a skin to skin practice. So how you can actually facilitate that very intimate, loving attachment, skin to skin. And I have had a vast experience with skin to skin with my children. I'll be able to also share my story as well, hopefully on that day, as to how I practice kangaroo care, how I feel kangaroo care helped my children to recover quickly. So I wouldn't obviously expatiate on that right now. Let's leave that till that particular topic. A day we'll be talking about how baby wearing can facilitate kangaroo care. We'll also not forget, we'll also talk about inspirational baby wearing stories. Now, that was actually where we started our blab. We started our blab by talking about baby wearing stories that inspire us. We're hoping that we'll also bring some of these wonderful people who we've always wanted to interview back as well, to actually interview them. One of the lovely ladies has just had a baby. Hopefully she can come back and just chat with us about her baby wearing story. And we'll give you notices and tell you who we'll be interviewing as well. And just like we said, don't worry, if you miss it, you can always watch it on the replay. Like we know that many of you are actually watching right now on the replay, so that's great. So we'll also talk about safety tips. In actual fact, it's likely that we will move the safety tips to the first blab, because we think this is a very, very important and essential aspect of baby wearing, especially for those who are worried or scared, or even people who are completely unaware of some of these points. So we're talking about safety on that particular day. That's not going to be a blab where you're going to be told about that obviously it's not going to scare you in terms of, oh, don't do this. It's not about giving you rules. It's more like guidelines.
We're not telling you what, we're just helping you do it. We want to make sure that everyone's using, regardless of whether it's ours or it's another brand. We just want to make sure everyone is doing it safely, securely, and the right way. So it's a refresher, and it's not just for people, it's for people like me as well. Because sometimes I forget, when you carry a toddler all the time, and then you have a small baby, then you think, oh God, I don't really remember how it works on the front. What am I supposed to do? So sometimes it's a good refresher to be able to just, oh yeah, if I roll that down, then that does this and this does. So it's often quite a good thing for more experienced people to get involved with as well. Plus, those of us who have more experience with it can pass that information down to those who don't, and say, well, you can do this and you can do that, and that helps, and this will help as well. And it's all, it's all really good, knowledgeable stuff that we need to pass along, and that's how the baby wearing community thrives.
Yeah, that's great. Well done, Rebecca. That's a very good point. That's a really good, really good point. So the safety tips are going to be, we're going to talk about guidelines for babies, for toddlers as well. Because even when you're carrying toddlers as well, there are a few things that you should obviously have in mind. We'll possibly even share some of the lovely guidelines in our user manual as well. Ticks, those are, for those of you obviously who already have this, there are safety guidelines here. But the good thing about that particular blab is we can actually chat with you. If we are able to get a real baby, because obviously, like we said, our babies are no longer babies. So if we can have like a little baby on that day that we can borrow, we will show you some of those guidelines, safety guidelines, especially the close enough to case 1, and some of the ticks guidelines. We'll be able to kind of show you a visual illustration of some of those things you've been hearing about. So that's for safety. We'll also talk about the myths and facts about baby wearing. That's another blab. In that particular blab, we will first start with the myths. Now, you would notice obviously that there are some misconceptions about baby wearing. That's the day we'll be talking about it. Yeah. Becca, can you remember some of the myths of baby wearing? Things, some of the things that people just say.
You know, because I'm on loads of groups on Facebook and I'm a volunteer at Sling Lab, you hear all sorts of stuff. The most recent one I heard was baby wear makes clingy babies. That's the most recent one I heard. And it drives me crackers. They all drive me crackers. But that's why we need to do it. You need to hear the myths. We need to tell you this is true, this is not true, debunk them for you, kick them to the curb, and then give you the real facts. That's what we need to do. I agree completely.
That's
definitely do that.
Yeah, that is great. Very correct. Very, very correct. If we talk about this, then people are a lot more aware about the fact that those misconceptions are not true. We'll talk about the misconception and then we'll talk about the facts. I wouldn't say unluckily, but in those days, there wasn't very much social media, and somehow I didn't have a fancy phone or camera or fancy camera. I didn't take too many photos, but I have a few photos I'll possibly show you on that day. I'll also tell you about how I started baby wearing, or when I even my introduction to baby wearing, when I, you know, how I heard about baby wearing first. I tell you, it's a long, long time. But let's leave that to that particular day. And we're hoping Becca is a very busy person, but if she is around and if she's less busy, if we're able to catch Becca on that day, I'm hoping that Becca will also join us to also
I'll try my
share
best.
with us story. You don't know how excited I am to have you here, Becca, today. Thank you so much. I
You
was
will.
like, oh, oh, I've been hoping that you'll be here. I was like, I don't want to be alone. I hope Becca can come and join. It would be nice to chat. That whole um, essence of blab. You feel like you're chatting with people. You're not just talking to yourself. So that's great. Thank you for making it. So
That's
I'm
fine.
end of the topics. Obviously, by the time we run through some of these topics, we'll be going into more than half of next year. So we have all these topics are going to cover, you know, quite a few blabs a bit. So you can then tell us some of the topics you want us to talk about, new topics. But I think by the time we add the inspirational baby wearing stories to it, inspire us, inspire others, then those will be a lot more blabs as well to add to these. So we'll also talk about baby wearing special needs children. What do you think about that, Becca? Do you think it's a good topic?
I think there are a lot of families out there with special needs children, and I think baby wearing would help them. And I know that you're the person to be able to help with that and advise with that. And I think it's something interesting because it's not something you think about. You think, well, I've got a child with special needs or some sort of disability. I can't wear them. It's not going to happen because of the way that they are. But I've known women with children or families with children who are in public harnesses, and they wear their children quite successfully. I've heard of children who are attached to oxygen, and they've been worn quite successfully as well, with lots of benefits. So I think it's definitely something to have a session on. Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Becca, for that. You're very correct that that's another topic that I will be able to confidently share my experience, just kind of, you know, tell you how it was for me. Obviously, if we're talking about disability, it's very, very wide. So I'll share mainly about low muscle tone, Down syndrome, treat of premature birth, how I was able to manage these and actually carry my children. So under that topic, baby wearing, special needs children, I'll be able to share my story to to also inspire you as well. To also say, look, if I have done it, I believe we can do it. It's not going to be easy, especially with low muscle tone, and things like that. But I remember when I um, trained as a consultant a few years ago, and I'm hoping in 2016 I can really take my time to also write some articles about these. Some of the things I wanted to focus on is mainly baby wearing, special needs children. I wanted to be able to use my experience, and I also was hoping that I can also major as well on baby wearing um, to inspire ethnic minority families in the UK. So those are things that I kind of all as well, obviously as well as a consultant and also director of Joy and Joe. My experience will be good for my customers as well. So I have obviously been using my experience for my customers, but I'm hoping that next year I can actually branch out to not just using my experience for my customers, but also putting these things into writing to be able to inspire these parents who are who are kind of feeling alone and worried and things, to also just let them know that they're not alone, really. Um, so another in another blab, we'll be doing demos where we'll like this ring sling here. We can kind of show you how to put your baby into it, how to adjust the ring, how to wear it, how to take it off. The wrap. One thing about wrapping is thousands, well, maybe not up to 1,000, but there are lots and lots of carries. So we will start with the functional one. We'll start with the easiest one, so that anybody who just pops into lab and is completely new to this, whole practice will not be intimidated by the different styles, and I will choose the simplest. So in that particular blab with the demos, we will show you demos of some of our products, but we will start with the really simplest ones that you'll be able to learn from, and also point you to some really important resources as well that have been done by other people. What do you think about that, Becca?
I think it's really good. I think there are a lot of choice. There's a lot of choice out there, and you're not always going to find something that works for you straight away. So I think if we can show people how to use it and how it works, and provide them with that, and all in one place as well, so they're not having to search on YouTube through millions and millions and millions of videos. I think it's a lot better and a lot easier, and I think all in one place is just more convenient for us to be able. And people can do it alongside us as well, so we can do it and then they can be doing it the same as well. So they're actually getting that real-time feedback of saying, like, just tighten it a little bit more, just do this a bit, just do that a bit, and I think it will definitely work. Yeah, I really like it. I'm looking forward to it. As long as I don't have to do ring slings, because I can't do ring slings for love nor money. I've tried. I really have tried. So you can do that one.
That's good. Very, very good point, Becca. Thank you so much. So the last topics on this list that I have put down that we're going to talk about in our lab is, okay, this goes with um, demos as well. So it's the fit in or fit out argument. So there's this argument for newborn, those newborn baby wearing. Should I put my feet in? Should I put the feet of the baby in, or should I put the feet of the baby out? So in that particular lab broadcast, we'll be talking about that in depth and looking at both of them and just basically dissecting that topic. So we'll also talk about hip dysplasia. That's something you hear from time to time on some baby wearing forums online. Hip dysplasia, how that, what you should, if at all you should be concerned, as baby wearing parents, if it affects you, or so that's something we'll be talking about as well in another blog broadcast. I will also be talking about cradle carry. So, what about cradle carry? What's Why is it that the cradle carry is quite frowned upon? We'll talk about that. I think round about maybe after that particular blab as well, we will talk about forward facing as well. Just majorly some of the major topics that we know that people are talking about. We'll give you our own take. on it. What do you think?
I think it's good, yeah, definitely. The cradle carrier one's a good one because it's not. It used to be quite widely advocated. So when you bought a carrier or a rack or a sling, whatever, you got your booklet and it showed you how to do the cradle carrier in it. And there are loads of carriers, high street carrier type things, bag carriers and things like that. That's what they're for. And it, like I say, it is frowned upon. But I do believe there are safe ways of doing it. You do have to be very, very precise, very, very careful. And I think it's definitely something to talk about because I think that and forward facing, when you're carrying forward facing out, I think those are two really hot topics that it really divides the baby wearing community right down the middle. Yes, you do it. No, you don't. And it gets really kind of heated. So I think it's definitely something worth touching upon, especially for the new people that are joining the baby wearing, movement and they're carrying their children. It's something they need to know about. And if we can help them and inform them, then that's even better. So yeah, definitely, I think. And the feet in, the feet out one is just such a minefield, because with my eldest, who was on earlier, she was feet in. I wrapped with her feet in because that was the advice. With my smallest, it was wrapping with feet out. So, and there's only sort of 2 years difference between them. So it's another hot topic I think that we definitely need to speak about. So yeah, definitely. I like those. I think they're going to be really good.
That's good. Thank you so much, Becca. I really like things you said, that these are topics that actually divide community. And I remember that it's mainly, I feel that it's because things are changing right now. Like, for example, the cradle carry, a couple of years ago when we started doing Broad Joy and Joy, you'll notice that, many companies were actually advocating cradle carry. And I think it was because there weren't many casualties at that time, or even any old point. But just because information and research into maybe where it is advancing indeed, and people are also beginning to see some of the things that are safe are, unsafe as well. So in when we talk about cradle carry, we'll possibly also talk about asphyxiation as well. These are some of the dangers of, especially when you do it really without support, without advice or something. So we'll talk about cradle carry and why we do not advocate cradle carry at all. Sorry, you're laughing at me like that. So we'll tell you why cradle carry. We would only advocate for you to do it while you're breastfeeding. Then after you finish breastfeeding, obviously you're breastfeeding, your baby is in a cradle carry. You finish breastfeeding, you have to return it back to an upright position. We will dissect that detail during that blab. So the last on the list, can you believe the last topic, Becca? Can you guess?
Go on, surprise me, amaze me.
Breastfeeding in her sling.
Yeah!
So that's the last topic on this list. And I just think it nicely follows up to the previous topic. We're talking about cradle carry and all, then we'll now be talking about breastfeeding in her sling. That's going to be the last topic, obviously not the least, and we're hoping to add more topics to these as time goes. But this is a lot to go through on each of these blabs. Make sure you don't miss it. And if you think there's any topic that you'd like us to talk about that we've not even mentioned, feel free to let us know, talk to us. And yeah, we're very happy to add that to our list of future blab topics. So thank you so much for. Obviously, I'm saying thank you to those of you watching on replay.
Thank you for watching on replay.
Becca, you don't know how much you made my day for making it, for joy, because I know you're on holiday, you're supposed to be relaxing.
We've got loads of sunshine. I'm blinded by all the sunshine. I've never seen so much sun. Terrible.
I'm jealous because there's no sunshine here. Look.
You can have some of this if you want.
You're really, really, it feels like you're in paradise, with sunshine and things. There's no sunshine here.
No. There's no sunshine because we've got it all, apparently. We've got everybody's sunshine from the whole of the UK, I think.
Wow. That must be, I hope you take lots of photos. We can't wait to see them.
No, we'll
Lots
take
of
loads.
lots of baby wear photos as well.
Oh yeah, we'll take
Okay,
loads.
so thank you so much for today. And don't forget to join us. I'm hoping that our next blab is going to be in obviously 2016, January. So can I just wish you a Merry Christmas
Merry
in advance
Christmas!
and a Happy New Year
Happy
in
New Year!
advance as
Have fun,
well.
everybody. Enjoy yourself. And you, busy. Enjoy
Enjoy
your sleep.
yourself, eat, rest, have fun, reach out to family, reconnect with old friends, anything that makes you happy. Watch
Yeah.
movies, you know. And if you have the chance as well, read books, just anything that makes you happy this festive
Yeah.
period. Happy holidays, enjoy Joe. Is there anything else you'd like to say to everyone, or just bye?
I think that's pretty much everything. If you've no sunshine, I'm really sorry we've got it. I will bring it back when I come back off holiday. Have a lovely Christmas, everybody, and a fantastic New Year. And if you're Scottish like me, happy Hogmanay. Have a black bun from me. And hope 2016 is as good for you as 2015 was for us. And I can't wait to see all the new ranges that we've got. Honestly, I'm so excited. I keep telling Neil about it all, and he's just like, will you shut up about it now? You've told me a million times. I've had a pound for every time I told him about it and how excited I am. I think I'd be a millionaire about now. So, yeah, so it's all good. So, yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, my child gate crashed the broadcast, but I'm sure everybody will love it.
That's fine.
So,
We all had fun.
yeah.
So thank you so much. We'll catch you in 2016.
Okay.
January, we're going to announce the dates. You need to follow us on Facebook. That's the only way you can get our updates. You can find out when and when we're going to have our blab. We're hoping it's going to be possibly the 6th. But you know what? Let's not fix a date now and cancel it. We are going to come out with a schedule. We have a calendar on our website where we kind of itemize the days. We are going to attach these topics to each of the days of the blab so that you also be able to see the topics you're interested in and the blabs you want to join us. And don't forget that if you join us, you can also be on screen as well and chat to us face to face.
Yeah, come and join us. We'd love to speak to you face to face. It's nice to see people behind the names and put faces to names as well, because it just makes it a bit more human than, I suppose. But yeah, follow the calendar on the website, and come and stalk us on Facebook, because everything you need to know is on Facebook. We keep everybody updated on there. And get onto the chatter page as well, with the lovely admins that we have looking after you on there, and all the lovely members. And Busy and I are often on there as well. So if you have any questions or you need any help with anything, Busy and I can always be contacted and stuff. And I'm quite happy for people to harass me on the chatter page and ask me questions about wraps and stuff, because I love wraps. So but yeah, come in and have a chat. Come and pull up a stool and have a seat with us.
Yeah, lovely. So the next time we'll be chatting with you, we're going to be in a brand new year, 2016. Bye-bye.
Bye.